And this meeting today, it comes at a very critical moment, I would say. It is already commonly known that more than 1 million desperate people have entered the European Union in 2015, risking their lives throughout the entire journey. Many of those have used smuggling networks to come here. In a crisis like today's, which affects the war-torn countries of origin, the people looking for safety, but also the host societies and their citizens, we have a rising and increasingly developed criminal network, which not only abuses the crisis and the vulnerability of people, but also makes huge profits. Not only is this criminal and legally unacceptable, it is morally repulsive. The refugee crisis that we are facing is complex and multidimensional and requires a comprehensive and joint approach. Migrant smuggling is a phenomenon that transcends national borders and can only be eradicated effectively through effective partnerships. That's why today is a more than timely occasion for the launch of the European Migrant Smuggling Centre at the second Operational Forum on Migrant Smuggling. The EU Action Plan against migrant smuggling, adopted in May last year, set the goal to turn this crime from a low-risk, high-profit business into a high-risk, low-profit one. We want the European Migrant Smuggling Centre to boost the fight against the smuggling networks all across Europe. It should make the most of analytical and operational expertise developed within Europol over the years. It should also build on the joint operation team focused on the Mediterranean, which was officially launched in March 2015. With the European Migrant Smuggling Centre, we want to go beyond the Mediterranean to cover the whole of the European Union and all forms of smuggling and routes. The centre will be the European information hub to fight migrant smuggling. It will provide support through analysis, cross-matching of data, experts on the ground, operational meetings, and joint operations. It will allow Europol to become more operational on the ground. Its presence at the hotspots will be strengthened through the deployment of mobile investigation support teams. I cannot emphasize enough how important it is for law enforcement agencies at national level to use all means available to track and seize the criminal assets of migrant smuggling. The Migrant Smuggling Centre will boost this expertise and enhance the exchange of best practices between member states. Cooperation between Europol and Frontex, which has been strengthened by the recent agreement allowing the exchange of personal data, will be crucial to facilitate the fight against people smugglers. But the new center will only contribute to fighting smuggling if national law enforcement agencies share quality information. And they do so in real time. Let us be clear. We cannot afford to miss this opportunity to step up our fight against migrant smuggling. We cannot underestimate the vile but unfortunately increasing damaging role that smuggling networks play in the refugee crisis. We want this center to also be the catalyst of cooperation with all relevant organizations, including with Interpol. But it is important to achieve a sharing of tasks that is effective, where every organization does what it is best placed to do and where duplication is avoided. It is crucial to step up cooperation with third countries. The European Union is already supporting projects, but additional and more targeted actions need to be implemented. With Turkey being the main transit country of irregular migration to the European Union, it is important to ensure cooperation with Turkish authorities against the smugglers. Following the deployment of a Frontex liaison officer to Turkey, we want to see more cooperation and more exchange of information between Europol and Turkey. Finally, I want to stress the role of an important new ally in the fight against smuggling. NATO vessels have arrived in the Aegean Sea to start monitoring the migration route between Turkey and Greece. NATO will be there to feed information to the national authorities in Greece and Turkey, to work with Frontex, and to focus its energy on the criminal smugglers fueling the migration crisis. Conclusions. It is with a great sense of urgency that I call on all of you, EU governments and third countries, EU agencies and international organizations to step up our efforts against migrant smuggling. We need to produce results. We have to show these criminals that they cannot continue business as usual. Our support in this endeavor should be considered a given. I count a lot on behalf of the European Commission to this very important mission of this center. Ladies and gentlemen, we must say that once again in public. We have declared a war against smugglers, and I hope that we shall come out winners. Thank you very much for your attention.